Hello traders, and welcome to this new Bitcoin technical and order flow analysis video. So Bitcoin pushing to the upside. In today's video I want to show you my trades I was taking. We will be simply focusing on this short over here. A lot to learn from that. Also long from yesterday, which was still waiting for more upside for take profit 3. Plus I will explain you swing longs from here. I'll be showing you what I was doing on spot recently. I was buying Bitcoin more into the spot with the help of on-chain, yes. And I also want to show you trading today. I was taking 2 scalps today, and I was expecting pretty much we could actually do breakout. There were lots of signs, so I'll be showing you what signs I was watching. In the second half of the video, we go to analyzing what can Bitcoin do from here, yes, from technical analysis, and then on the how is the order flow looking like, both global order flow and more intraday. Plus I will explain you Bitcoin, how is Bitcoin trading during Middle East war, because there are clearly very interesting inflows into Bitcoin since the war started. So to me Bitcoin is acting as a safe haven asset. Okay, so this is going to be very likely 90 minutes video, but you know I release videos once a week. Please find the time and go over everything I say, because these are just gold nugget informations you very likely don't get elsewhere. Let's start now. I can explain you Bitcoin correlation with the equities and with the war and with everything. Here is the point when we started the war in the Middle East. Immediate response from markets when you start the war. You can actually learn that from a section I will be publishing soon. But when the war is starting in Middle East, you are getting big spike in oil to the upside. You get gold spiking to the upside. You get equities going down on the initial move. And also, as it was happening over the weekend, the only asset in the world was to trade this was crypto. So Bitcoin and altcoins were just dropping on the news. But if you remember from previous historical wars during Middle East, like in 2024 and 2025, each time we did a big drop, we started recovering the drop. Usually on the war we get on Bitcoin, this is now statistical edge, you get 3 to 6% drop on the news, sometimes even 10% when it was first time. We had, if you measure the move, we had 4% drop, so it was very in the realm of statistical edge, nothing surprising for us, and then we started recovering. You can see since the war, Bitcoin is trending to the upside. I do think, because Bitcoin is asset which like you will see over here. For example, if you hold Bitcoin instead of Iranian currency, you preserved like 96% of your purchasing power. Outflows from major Iranian platforms spiked over 700% following military strikes. We can see another utility from Bitcoin. Anything else will be confiscated at the borders, yes? I mean, when governments are tightening capital controls, or when you have the war, there are tendencies to buy the Bitcoin. Remember, many countries, many allies of the US were struck with the missiles in the past few days. So lots of people are distributing some profits from from gold and silver. Even they put it back into crypto because it's pretty liquid, and these safe haven properties we've seen in other conflicts as well. You just cannot ignore this. You know, Bitcoin is simply trending. It's even left a big range since the war started. We will see when the war ends how it's gonna react, right? But right now you have these safe haven inflows. I think it was also aligning with the general like time, because we were 1 month in the range, and also some on-chain data were suggesting we might see another relief bounce. The biggest counter trend rallies happen in the bull market, in the bear markets, so you cannot ignore this. We can easily go to 75, 80k, and nothing is gonna not even breaking the high time frame downtrend, right? It's just that. So yeah, and you can see the correlation over here. Like equities were dropping heavily. Look how like equities were actually like big up here. Equities new low pushed to the upside with Bitcoin, but then the new lows were continuing. They were even unable to like reclaim outside of their range. Bitcoin is strongly outperforming equities right now, so this is very strong sign. We've seen this behavior during a bull market, so maybe it's like first glimpse of hope we might be progressing to end the bear market yet, like to build new floor higher, but time will tell, because we still have a few months to go until the 4-year cycle plays out. But yeah, this is very interesting. First time we see that is really good sign. In 2024, 2025, we've seen that many times when Bitcoin was leading equities to the upside. Yeah. So yeah, just wanted to mention this correlation. This was easy. I was actually not trading weekend here, but if I open my trades, you will see like this was my core swing long. I had some trades here. Not everything is mapped here, but I post everything into the group. But I had a like big swing long from here, and I utilized weekend drop only to add to my long back, because it almost retested my entry. I already had big fat profits. I was increasing size, I think 20%, from 25 to 45%, so not even full size. So I was utilizing drop for myself, but I was sleeping here on the drop, so I was not shorting. Some of our traders captured this drop. So yeah, just so you know. Now we can, so you've had that correlation, Bitcoin doing well during these war times. Now we can have a look on trades I was taking recently. I think you can learn a lot from those trades, because I was doing those big breakdowns. Every single day traders see how I'm taking those trades live, and how I'm trade management after, like that's also important for trades. Then you will see. So 70k short, we can have a look. Let's go down. 70k short. So we've first I want to talk about this trade, because it was very profitable trade. When we come to clean chart, so it's easier for you to see, 70k here. We did super tight swing failure pattern of 70,000. Yes, and then we started pulling to the downside. I even made cheat sheet for our traders to see potential scenarios with 70k. Let me find it. We have so many sections. I'm always searching. Here we are. So the 70k short was pretty much the first scenario here. Yeah, this is like cheat sheet for very round levels. So 70k, 80k, 60k, 90k, 100k, and also every 5,000. You can even pause the video. This is more for our group, but okay, just pause the video, read about it. I just want to show you on that first scenario on 70k short, we had a clean swing failure pattern. It was not even spanning more into 70,400. It's more of a like $200 above the round level, and then we started rejecting. We even saw some additional sell pressure walls, which were very good additional confluence, and which were trying to push price to the downside. So that was like first thing which I liked. Yeah, very tight swing failure pattern. And you had a range high, so you will see very soon. You don't look for longs into such area. So let's come back from here. In order flow, look what I was looking for. Yeah, so 70,000. We've seen, like, look at that, bulls were fully in control until we started hitting into 70,000. Huge delta is coming here, 54 million in the volume and 30 million delta on 70k. Someone already absorbing that. Someone then placed very large buy order to push price higher, like he was trying to build a support at 70k, and there was immediately big seller into that wall for 32 million. So not only passive market participants were operating at 70,000, but also active market participants selling into big walls. Even more Fed absorptions. This is the last time when bulls were in control in the whole upside move. We've seen reversal. That's why we used the trend reversal candles, because we've had a positive delta but yet a negative candle, and we've seen lots. These are imbalances happening right here. So someone was actively buying and taking a huge position on the long side with market order, because open interest was increasing. So we've seen trapped longs right into the highs. We always want to see that. There's like additional confluence I love to see. Since that moment we are getting delta flip. The shorts are pushing, they are controlling the downside, and there are no tries from bulls like in these candles to reverse the trend. So we started bleeding to the downside. I'm just showing you the immediate screenshot on the entry, right, because it's just so important. So you see I'm taking the trade first as a scalp. It often happens, yes, because that's the advantage of scalper. We can be super aggressive, and then it can become day trade or even swing. 70k was also our option barrier. So those who understand options understand that if you kiss the barrier properly, it acts to be resistance on first touch. Today we breached the barrier, so actually it was opposite. There was gamma squeeze to the upside. Yeah, I can explain this a bit later. So So I said a scalp or day trade pullback was expected. You just don't want to hold short when market returns above the high. It happened like today, so yep. Let's go further to the downside. So you see how the trade was developing. You can even read my posts. We do see like huge spike in the deltas, right, into the highs. And from that moment, the perpetuals were profit taking and the spot market was selling. So this was very good control, the move to the downside. I wanted to see this happening for my trade to become a day trade and to hit some first take profits. It was very easy to expect this delta, which was leading to the upside. We will round trip the delta. So you will drop here, you will round trip, and after that, market will reset very locally. Huge information for you. If you are shorting 70k, you have very large open interest build up, mainly on the long side. Look at the delta continuously going to the upside. So you know once trade goes in your favor, you have potential to gain like lots of money, because these people will be closing. Yeah? If the longs are positioned here, once you know how it feels. You are long here, market comes to you, usually close, or you let bleed. You get it. You let market against you, and you close. I'm talking about retail. Of course, I'm not doing such bad things, but I already can predict this is gonna happen, and this is what we got later on. Let's go further to the downside. We have some ETFs coming as well, but not big. Yeah, very clean. On CME, it was the even more clean swing failure pattern. Let's go how it was up. Just want to show you the development of the trade. So very useful as well. We do see spot is returning back with the beat after initial sell-off, but they do get absorbed. So this is bearish CVD here, and it's gonna help our trade as well. We want to see that as like green light. And final thing about this trade, in the pool, which is including the downside volumes, we are at the 3 weeks VAH. Yeah, so you don't look for longs here, you look for shorts. Same like here. So we had a confluence of the VAH here. AMT is king, and in the secondary pool it was less precise, but that main pool I already showed you. Let's go further. VAH I showed you. I identified, so with Exocharts you are able to identify key levels where your trade is going to go in your favor, and you will actually multiply profit. Now, if you are in very strong continuation to the upside, like today, you actually will see you are holding such continuations today. You go to the upside. Here, when market was pushing into 70k, very large delta was coming in and it was getting absorbed in this candle. So this candle is acting as a support for top consolidation below 70,000. If you start losing this, this is called continuation volume, yeah, because you already were bouncing 2 times here, so you also have stop losses and liquidations below. You go below this candle, we have mostly buy side here, so you don't have those absorptions on the sell side. Lose 68,400 and you will accelerate move to the downside. It was very clean, simple message here, because first, like, they were protecting equities. Maybe let's go further. Yeah. So I gave that level. When I was sleeping, it happened. See, we went further. You can see how I was trading this on my Bybit account. Shorting here, take profit ones were taken here. There was another additional like short. This is making me risk free, so I already earned for stop loss and some guaranteed profit. More shorting, another take profit. I was just milking in case we will go into range here and retest the highs. I'm paying myself. So there's more profit taken from the market. This is final ad before I go to sleep. You see I lowered my entry. I have very wide stop loss now. I mean, like not so wide, but I earned for the stop loss, okay? I just wanted to have stop loss for free and have large exposure to the downside. During my sleep, market did what we expected. We destroyed open interest build up, we filled the inefficiencies, and I'm hitting big take profit when I'm waking up right away, because it was like 5%, 6% move to the downside. You have to pay yourself. Market actually didn't move much lower from this, and then we started coming back to high. So you know, Bitcoin is ranging 80% of time, so you have to pay yourself, simply as that. And you can see there was, we were even thinking what was that Monday pump. We heard, like I heard, there was pension funds and institutions buying on a new month, so everything was pumping globally even when the war started. Other day we see big downside, yeah, equities in big downside, Bitcoin as well, so that was helping our trade. And we were almost rotating full range, right? So that was another thing. So that was a huge winner. Now we started to find stability here from daily naked poke. it was also composite 2-day naked point of control. Let me show you that. So 66,100 long was the last time when you could be participating on big pump, which we are getting today. This was like the best position if you wanted. Here we are. So daily naked pog is reacting for scalp, which I'm taking. Very clean retest, swing failure pattern of the London low. That's what we want to see. Trade management. Let's go, just scroll down. We do see good positive delta trapped into the lows. Yes, we are seeing nice volume, and then we starting to see delta flip, and bulls are getting into control. So pretty textbook setup with our main order flow template. Yes, I was keeping 40% of the trade. Later on I was increasing the size to 60%, widening my stop loss. You can clearly see the market like lost all the fuel to the downside. We rotate, like destroyed all the people here, and then there was like final short squeeze from trailing stop losses. Let's go further down. Equities were still dropping, but Bitcoin was holding much better. Ultimately, we do watch fractals like that when New York session loves to sweep the London session or London session or Asia session liquidity and lows and fix it for better lows. So this was the main trade setup. This was holding. While this is holding, we don't expect further downside because you finished that fractal of the liquidity. You can see the spot is starting to buy from the lows. The market is like shifting. Bitcoin was actually leading market for the recovery. Trade management, yes, here was the trade management. So very tight long, very tight stop loss. Take profit one taken here for stop loss, and then take profit one was taken here for another exposure. I was keeping the last part of the trade 30% to the upside in case Bitcoin returns to 70k. Now even that was kept for longer, you will see. You can pause and read this as well, pretty useful. About today, so today I was not trading. This market was I was sleeping during here when this was happening, but you can clearly see at 71,800 we were watching like so many longs were getting trapped at the highs. You had scalp long because you were flipping them into resistance, and then you started to see pullback. So you had that first scalp long, another one, and we can now scroll down a bit. So that was few of my trades pretty quickly. How long it took? 17 minutes. That's good. I just want to now show you a few posts about today, and then we move for analysis on Bitcoin. So pretty much we will go over that in a second, but I was posting we might even see move to 80k on Bitcoin if everything goes well, because we have very limited resistance. Plus it can be fractal of the previous low with 80k when we retested the big lows, 1, 2 like major lows, and then we rejected from them. So 80k for me, huge resistance in the future for Bitcoin. Yeah, because we have also on-chain resistance there. You can actually see also Coinbase, the capitulation is pretty much over. All the ETF sellers, look at those negative premiums, 0.2. So all the US investors were dumping Bitcoin in the next leg up, down from 90 to 60k. Now we are getting back to positive. So inflows of ETFs are also reversing. You can see that clearly. Positive premium on Coinbase is signaling US investors are returning back into Bitcoin. Another thing we watch is if we do actually, I can show you that a bit later. And we were over that. Yeah, and now I can go to normal analysis of Bitcoin on everything I have at disposal from technical analysis. So let's start with that. And they still pushing beautifully. That's so lovely to see. Portfolios are just shining today. I closed, by the way, this trade over here. The intraday long for me it's enough. I should maybe keep it for longer, but it's okay. It's 8% move in the pocket, but I have the swing long from 64k. I don't even mention how many times I bought Bitcoin on spot, like 3 times at least. At 60k, and then 64k, because we've seen a massive support in TRDR around these levels. So I'm loaded up on spot market as well. So yeah, pretty happy. Now let's go for the analysis. So let's start with a fractal. We don't need this one option, symmetry. One thing to just, this is like gold nugget tip, but each time you are in last month of the week, we tend to see market very congested. Yes, like here, same like here, same like here. You can even backtest this. We tend to be like on one spot. This is coming from options because at the end of the week, the options have the biggest power on Bitcoin, and the big supply and demand levels on option markets, which I'm watching every single day, are putting lead on market like 65, 70k. These were big option barriers. Once the new week, like last week of the month is ending, Bitcoin tends to pick the direction like in first 2-3 weeks. Beautiful fractal. I identified the option market is changing everything on Bitcoin. So right now we do trend because 70k was pretty strong on Bitcoin. Again, we rejected 2 times. It was option barrier. You cannot ignore this. Yeah, it's not about technical analysis only, because this VAH, the VAH created here was thanks to the options as well. Let's go. Okay, so we have another symmetry, very interesting symmetry we will be watching. So you can see Bitcoin repeated almost same symmetry when we were bouncing from 80k. By the way, 80, 60k, those were big option barriers. So we've had the bounce, then we've had the consolidation. They were like, they are not exactly these highs as this one, but I'm watching like there is like one potential scenario which is still not looking like it's gonna happen, but with the fake out, yes, fake out and then return back. Or we can actually extend, same like here, so you will extend this here, and you can see we did extend it from this at least 4.66. I can actually do it for myself like this, so it's gonna be perfect symmetry, yeah. And then I just take the box, slap it over here. So you can see if we repeat the same symmetry, yeah, from the previous range, we can extend ourselves into 77,300s, all right? If we don't do this, there is like market would need to range here for some time. So because it's still just uptrending, right? You see how much time we spent here. You have plenty of time to build your short if we get such opportunity. But if we extend from the box, you know, you can expect something like 76, 77,000 on that symmetry. Just from that. Bitcoin is super symmetrical on the wave move to the downside. We expected very deep pullback. I expected very deep pullback, same like here, we've got it, we were loading big time on longs, push to the upside, yeah. This is how the bear market is trending right away. Very deep pullbacks is very rarely is not gonna give you second chance after a big V-shape recovery. V-shape recovery, you need to be very aggressive, but then you get the second ticket on your train station to the upside. 4-hour symmetry is not completed, but doesn't need to be complete because Bitcoin can do intermediate moves inside that and then reverse, complete it into 53,000. For now, is looking very strong, doesn't need to happen. From market structures, right, this is pretty crucial for us. We still have the key market structure from 2024. I more view it, so we were retesting this like start of it rejected. We stayed more from AMT levels of the 2024. But if we start pushing over 74,000, this is going to be a very good sign. You are not spending time above the in this range, and you are pushing above these highs. Pretty crucial, and it's gonna unlock us to see much higher prices on Bitcoin, at least into 75, 80k region and range. From here we have very wide market structure where we already were trending, so I will watch in case market gets here for another slowdowns, for another local range where I can position both ways. This is like very wide region. If you want exact levels, I will show you them a bit later. Also more naked market structures, we do await them here at 80,000. This is still like one of the big targets. Also think about it from just key levels, from key lows and highs. 8-hour time frame, we do see Bitcoin did this key low, retest and move down. Same thing here, key low, and we will watch how if we get here and how we will retest. But it can be very similar reaction. So 80k, 80,000 is regional for me. I will watch what we do there because also it is on-chain resistance. We know ETFs are there. We know also the average Bitcoin bought for the past, like since the bull market is average is here. So lots of averages are waiting here. So 80k for me is resistance based on the similar symmetry. I will watch how Bitcoin behaves there. So that's from that. Impulse liquidity, we are far away from that. Value areas, local ones. So when you are building longs here, or when you were loading last, like us yesterday here, what you want to see is pretty clear here. You want to trade above 3 weeks VWAP, which we are getting right now. So Bitcoin is now in the expansion mode. It lost the, like it left the distribution and is seeking new value elsewhere. Okay. So I'm watching what we do here. I don't have like there was no big range here, so maybe we'll start building volume in between 70,000 and 75. If Bitcoin is truly strong and bullish, it's gonna retest bullishly 70k. 70k is now very important because it's gonna flip these highs into support as well. Option buyers are already, people are betting some 70k defense. Yes, if I want to see Bitcoin very strong, please flip the 70k. Is that simple request, okay? If we fail, of course, you will open road to another range rotation into POG and lower levels. So I will be just treating Bitcoin level by level. We are still far away from 5-day range, so it's more of a from local AMT is limbo, and is not a problem to build some volume in the area. High volume nodes, you can see I was telling our traders to keep an eye on these high volume nodes. They are key supports in, like, because when the capitulation was happening, Bitcoin ignored most of the levels. This was simply market head. You know, market needed to destroy all the positions, but once you go to retest, they will pay attention. Okay, so, and it's really good we didn't go into the weak, so we kept the strong low and we found support in high volume nodes. Lots of job around around these 3 weeks high volume node, but we held it as a support on a pullback out of the weekend price action, so very good for us. And now we can go to higher time frame AMT, which is gonna show even more sense. I was pretty adamant, you know, the the trade area I kept the same here, even if the week comes here. From these points, I'm starting to buy Bitcoin more into my swing longs on swing longs with leverage, and also into my spot. So here I was adding into spot as well 2 times, and here in the week as well. So I have absolutely good exposure to the upside when Bitcoin comes. We can also see we were ranging a lot in our, like from 2024, this VWAP was defining the range. 8-month VWAP as well. So, you know, when Bitcoin is trading about 70k is opening, just a sec. So Bitcoin, when it's trading about 70,000, is opening road for much higher levels. Also from 2024 AMT, if you look at it. So what we do on the retest is going to be very important for me. I don't want to see reacceptance back into these levels because we already were ranging 1 month. If we do so, then it's going to be, you know, not ideal. So yeah, that's that. And high volume nodes were also very, like, so I showed you we had some more local high volume nodes, but don't forget these supports here. This is the main 8-month high volume node from 2024, plus you have more naked medium time frame 2 month. This was the strongest support for the Bitcoin out of everything here. Yes, when you come back, you see how long we were distributing there. Look at that. Yeah, yes, from here, like from all of this. So these supports, we were building swing longs and we were just buying Bitcoin on spot market. All right, so very, very good. It played out. Now it again 70, like I want to see Bitcoin finding support on this high volume node on the retest, because we were rejecting from these high volume nodes for so long. Now I want to see a reversal and make them support. Lose that, then we will be more bearish on Bitcoin. Key anchor VWAPs, well, we did flip the, this is pretty important anchor VWAP because it's tracking volume from 790,000. We flipped that into, you know, support. There was backtest, so this was bullish sign. We will open road for much higher levels. Lots of trailing stops from high time frame traders were hit on this move down, which were like too greedy. We still have the anchor VWAP from 97k. I'm watching how we will retest that. Maybe it's gonna give us another beautiful trade. And then you have like lots of people trapped in this anchor VWAP from it's now at 83,000. Big resistance, also big resistance. You see how this was like more original. So though lots of resistance ahead for Bitcoin. Don't think it's going to be that easy. Let's have a look. So these were bands which were supporting us like most of the bull market. Now there might be some resistance on a retest, so I have them on my chart. I will watch. extensions we don't need to see, summer target, range extensions. So we finally are leaving the pink box, and you can split pink box into two zones. Most of the range was happening in the upper portion. We are carefully watching if we start trading and building new variable below 64,000, because this would open the range from 57 to 64. Never happened. All the rejections are happening. Now is gonna be a question if we stay above 71,000, then we can build new range in between 77,800 and 71k. I'm watching that region. Yeah, if we find like big strength, you might even like start rotating the like this more orange yellow zone, like full one, but yes, we will see that. And another, like this is secondary pool, which was helping us to predict like lots of ranging for the past year. Like big distributions happening mainly on the pink box, and now we are building and rotating the most expected, like, because you don't have much resistance here and volume, so it's logical Bitcoin will try to build some volume in between 76,000 and 70k. You do see how I often mention 70,000, so you see it's going to be crucial zone to hold these levels. Yeah, so if we see more pushes to the upside, then I'm ready to watch this. Okay, so let's see what else we've got. Balance zone, this was hit. We had also short from what was doing price more locally. Yes, we had reaction from the point of control, but the more point of controls are above us. So for now, that's not like much resistance there. Composites are far away, so that's we don't need to see. Market structure. So yeah, again, we need to breach 74,000 to see more upside. So we leave the very old market structure boundary here from the old cycle, from like this high. So we need to do that. And then we open road like for, much larger range from 69 to 90,000. We will see how we do. We need to even if Bitcoin starts to like turning down later on, we might do still bullish backtest and just continue to the upside. So I will watch for that. Well, from like high time frame, we are still far away from a 1 year val. If you want to actually indicate the bear market, well, we need to see at least 86 reclaim, ideally 96, and only then you start to think about Bitcoin about 100k again. So there is still lots of work to do. This range is super crucial because the most capital which ever invested into Bitcoin happened in this range, sadly. So you have huge amounts of people trapped in this range. Okay, we even have an on-chain metric for that. Like I think 70% of all the wealth invested is above 80,000. Okay, so that's why also we did the bearish backtest here, and val of this range can be huge resistance in the future. This range as well. It's not going to be easy return back into this range. I just want to show you. Oh yes, we do hit. So yes, the current support for us was still coming. Like, of course, you can have so many bull market. ups, but these bands here were still supporting us into the low. Mainly, they were capturing the range from starting from 21,000, then FTX drop. It was like whole range to the downside, the white view up, yeah. And this one was coming from, from here. Is also good. We are getting a back above this one. This is the Incarviva, which is tracking volume from final lows after FTX collapse, which is pretty much measuring our whole bull market. The more time you spend above this, the less pressure market starts to create. So this is very, very good sign. We are trading now about 68,000. Very good sign. We don't want to see this lost. Trading above this on higher time frames, like weekly time frames, is gonna give us higher, like these relief rallies, further relief rallies. And you can see, like, you can think about Bitcoin from lots of local time frames I was showing you, but ultimately we were also fighting to stay above macro VAH from this is 4-year macro VAH. you don't even think about this from daily perspective. You just don't want to see like weekly closes into it. So very good defense. We even like front run my big box major DCA, but of course I was doing that. But you do see those rejections, like even here, like there was battle for 63, 60, 64, 63, and it's not random. Hundreds of millions of the buy side on the walls was placed in these regions. They were defending like this whole huge box. So for now, the worst for the Bitcoin is not coming, you know. With I don't expect much lower prices until I see like lots of, you know, value built below 63, 64k. Then we can think about rotation of this range at partial, you know, into my areas of interest. So this is looking really good for now for Bitcoin. The thing is, you know, it's very hard for you to tell you are at the end of bull market here. Of course, you find that evidence much later, and it's very hard for you to tell, okay, this is end of bear market. Absolutely nobody in the world, if he is gonna tell you, this is better, you know, this is it, this is the final low. Nobody knows the future. We can only work with probabilities. I would say the like technical picture for Bitcoin is now improving, and you can be in positions from level by level trading from the daily order flow. Plenty of exposure you can have. You are doing your dollar cost averaging, you know, with Alpha Square investing tool, we've had the big signals here. The market is super oversold. From on-chain we were seeing some nice support, so you had many reasons to actually reap rewards from your, you know, in those positions. Okay, let's see if there is anything useful in these folders which I can show you. Macro range we did, symmetry we are fine. This macro channel, you know, I use only channels on the high time frames. Midline bulls, front run here. Market tends to front run the midlines, but it's holding as a support. So on this time frame is looking really good. Yeah, this is very, very royal macro channel. Nice to see that. Key levels. And you know, 69k is still key level from previous cycle. So each time Bitcoin is like reclaiming it, like it's doing right now, it like in the past it led to either lots of chop, or if the clean, like especially above 73,000 key level from the 2024, then we tend to see accelerated moves to the upside. Okay, let's have a look on this window. Where is my, yes, here we are. So white zone index, you can go just to normal Binance Bitstamp. Yeah, height. Just want to see how about the anchor view ups. So yeah, actually standard deviation from yearly view I'm going for your time frame. I love to watch this, you know, that 1 year time frame. Very good. Yes, this is very good. When the market is neutralizing medium time frame downtrend, the first step is gonna accept into the yellow line, I mean yellow zone. Now we want, like, what we want to see from Bitcoin on the pullback. We do not want to see 67 lost. Okay, it's gonna be market structure support anyway, but we want to see, you know, even if it goes for pullback, we do want, you know, new range, so we can retest the yearly VWAP, and this is gonna tell us, like, people ask me how do I see bear market negated. Well, the big thing you need to do is to reclaim yearly VWAP now at 78,000. We know how big resistance it is from on-chain as well, so reclaim that, and we can start, you know, you can even see in previous cycle, because always previous cycles give us these informations how we were like destroying them. So let's go 2020. I should go to higher time frame. So this is 2022. This is very strong, you know, bear market. Many, like, much stronger than this one actually, even if it doesn't look like that. But there were like super big capitulations. Market was super over leveraged, so much risk around, so much, yeah, just crazy. You see, most of the time was spent inside inside the standard deviation 1 band. but the technical picture improved even if you watch the previous year once we started accepting into it. So staying about 22,000, and then even on the new yearly reset we were starting to trend to the upside, and most of the time we were, you know, not in these two lines in the standard deviation 1 or 2, but we 2 or 3, but we are mostly trending outside standard deviation 1 yellow bands or even higher. Yes. Look at the 2024, the year of consolidation. We were in a 9-month range, and then we finally got the elections and pushed to the upside. But you see, Bitcoin was most of the time in the yellow. So when it's consolidating and preparing for the high time frame moves, it should be in the yellow line. Yeah. So yeah. And you can see how was market developing. It was already in the standard deviation 2 band when we started, before we started new year. And now we finally see it pushing back into the yellow area. So very interesting times ahead. Moving averages, we need to watch them on a much longer exchange with more data. Yes. So 200-week moving average front run, big front run, 200-day moving average, we still trade below. This is mostly like all the professionals are using this on stock market to know if they are in bull market or bear market. And while you trade below this, you pretty much are still in bear market on Bitcoin. You can simplify as that. It's that simple. Yes. In like previous cycle, you see we did a retest and then we were just trending down. I mean, I cannot use moving averages in my intraday trading. I have much better tools. But again, in these high time frames, it's very useful to watch this once a week or few times a week and see how the market is doing. You see even how we started the previous bull market, right? So you see 200-day moving average catched up to the downside, big push over it, reclaim, lots of chop, but then we started trending to the upside. So, and this was giving our likes. So the Bitcoin is getting most impulsive when it's above 200-day moving average. It's below now, so it's a lot of catching up. Yeah, then we will see how we retest that. Just remember, it's not precise as much as people think because you see so much choppy, very choppy. These resolutions take time around it, so we will see how we do next time. So don't expect like one keys and rejection. It can be super choppy. So seasonality. Just want to show you where it went. Okay, this is just seasonality I wanted to show you. This is like seasonality averaged for the past, was my setting. And now we will talk about more like not so technical analysis stuff, but more about general things. So let's show you that. Just want to see settings, inputs. Yeah, this is based on past 15 years. Bitcoin, we do see it's tends to act very weak from December, like from the middle of the December. We tend to see we topped out sooner. Okay, that's fine for whatever reasons, but we do see lots of weakness on Bitcoin from middle of the December until actually 19th of March. So we are like front running this symmetry a bit, and then we start to see relief into the April. So April could be like, right now Bitcoin is front running on seasonality. I would say we can see, you know, counter trend bounces in April, and maybe after April, this is still just heavy speculation, but we might see, you know, going into the another big pullback below 60k during summer. During summer, we might see consolidation around 60 to 55k, and we might see the final low. Depends on equities. Okay, if you get financial crisis, of course, Bitcoin will be weaker. But the main baseline scenario is like that. So right now, yeah, Bitcoin front running its own seasonality a bit, but this is pretty precise. So just be aware of this. This is very simple indicator, but yeah. So one more thing. By the way, today Bitcoin, you see I'm watching lots of dominances here. We do see, so the white line here is, let me show you the description because even I need to sometimes read. So the white line is excluding top 10 altcoins. So the white line is everything below top 10, right? So we do see today's pump is coming from Bitcoin, Right now Ethereum is catching up finally. Solana and other like BNB coin, XRP, top 10 coins are pushing heavily because that's what they have the most, the utility, so of course. But the altcoins and shitcoins are actually bleeding against Bitcoin, the white line. All right, so just so we know who is pushing to the upside. And we have another metric we can see which was improving like past few weeks. Can copy it here, Coinbase Premium. We go to 1 hour time frame. This was my favorite tool in a bull market. We did see when the Coinbase Premium is very negative, it means ETFs very likely have negative outflows, and people in US or institutions are selling more Bitcoin compared to the world. We even got into almost 0.3% price difference on Coinbase. That's crazy, by the way. But what we do see right now, look at that. This is the point when we first time, like after a very long time, we started to be positive. So I would say the big capitulation from ETFs is already over. Doesn't mean the bear market is over, but like the first big wave from capitulation ETFs is over, and now we do see positive premiums since here. So this is why Bitcoin, you see more green candles, you don't see as much bleeding. So yes, we do see ETF inflows as well. So Coinbase Premium really good, and now it stays positive. You can even see when I go to CVDs, there you very likely Coinbase is gonna push. Yes, it's pushing, remove 15-minute time frame. Since here the Coinbase is doing lots of heavy lifting. Yeah, the blue line is Coinbase. The Binance was behind. The Binance is catching up right now. The biggest bumps in the crypto market are coming when the Binance is on board with the Coinbase. All right, so look at that. Right now they are coming. The biggest move is happening. If it's not happening, the Coinbase has limited the power and other exchanges. This was, by the way, bull CVD. Yeah, you can see that this was also playing out. So this is excellent to see. We might see beautiful relief rally like going further on Bitcoin. That's that. We can delete it from here. Anything else I can mention? This is for intraday. We will go on the order flow analysis very soon. Yes, and I wanted to show you that bullish CVD. So since we can, so you do see the spot CVD is declining in new lows constantly, but the price was making higher highs. So these were high, like medium, not medium. These were like local absorptions happening since the war on Coinbase, mainly on Coinbase. Mainly on Binance. Coinbase was trading higher. So these are also bullish CVD playing out from higher time frames. We do see it's much easier for me to trade CVD on intraday. This is giving direct setups, but you cannot ignore these like multi-day, multi-week setups as well, because they tend to like all the people who sold Bitcoin here for cheap, they are now rebuying back pretty much. We can simplify it like that. So yes, they have power for medium time frame trends. One more post about, so I can mention on-chain briefly. This is, I don't want to focus much on on-chain in today's video because it's gonna be just too long. I will include it in the next one, but I will show you a very powerful metric you can watch. Let's go to on-chain data. This is like lots of hedge funds and major institutions are aware of the power law. I've seen them mentioning it in interviews. Even BlackRock was mentioning that, because for Bitcoin, remember, Bitcoin is very hard to estimate what's the true value of Bitcoin because it doesn't have company fundamentals, doesn't have CEO, it's hard. So on-chain is helping us, and power law is very useful for that, because in the since the Bitcoin existence, we do see like the orange line is the median line. This is where Bitcoin should be based on power law. You can Google exactly what is power law, by the way. This is model price. This is what I told our traders a few months back, like Bitcoin should be at 120, 130K when we started falling into 90K, but sometimes we do these deviations. And we do see we never in Bitcoin's history dropped below floor price, which is standard deviation 0.5 below the median. Yeah, look at the support. So I do suspect lots of spot buying currently into Bitcoin, where the fear was at maximum in the 60-70K range, was coming from the power law as well. Yeah, we've seen some supports from on-chain, but this is also very clean one. Yeah, like look here, we're bottoming out here for a long time in the previous cycle as well. Here Corona drop blows into the bands, each time we pretty much come to these levels, to the green area, yeah, for the then we have the major opportunity to buy cheap Bitcoin. So yeah, you can wait for another 30% drop on Bitcoin into 50, 40k. It's up to you. I do dollar cost averaging. I still keep some money on the sidelines, but I constantly buy Bitcoin, and you know, especially from profits which I'm making from trades, I'm constantly buying cheap Bitcoin down here. What should be? That's what we need to do. You know, this is now, crypto is very cheap asset class right now, if you know, consider the power law. So yeah, bottoming was definitely help from that. Let me check just one thing. Yes. And all the on-chain resistance, all the STH, like short-term cost basis, real S price, so price of Bitcoin bought in the current cycle. True mean, is this one. True mean price is what I was mentioning, and the realized price is the price of Bitcoins ever bought since its history. We still are yet to retest all those on-chain resistances, which is gonna tell us how is Bitcoin doing, because last time we've retested 97k on STH cost basis. Many people who were trapped just, you know, used to utilize the push to get out of the Bitcoin. Right now it's 86,000, but shit, I had this on, yeah, because I don't have headphones, so I hope it was not 1829, and I hope it was not interfering much into my talk. Yes, I'm not gonna re-record video because, you know, time is very precious, but I hope it was not disturbing you as much. Maybe there was no, I see there were not so many news, so maybe only the time. But, you know, at least you saw how the financial juice works. Currently, we have war, and we have war, and I have this on all days, so I have to, you know, because like news like that can have impact on the market. So yeah. Yeah. I hope it was not disturbing to you much. I hope so, really. Okay, so we are yet to retest on-chain. I will do on-chain analysis in the next video. I don't want to bother with this. Let's go to on-chain, and then this is going to be pretty much it. I can show you my lethal scalp. We've had the daily naked point of control scalp for easy 1% move to the downside. So yeah, that was cool. And let's see what Bitcoin is doing right now. So let's see. Let's start with the Exocharts. You see like lots of people are longing highs, so when you start going into pullback, that's what you can use for your counter scalps. Right now, more longs were coming here, but nothing like crazy on the highs. But once you go below this person, you are just squeezing market to the downside. Binance. More positions offer now are coming there. 2-minute time frame. Lots of longs coming on Bybit. Some shorts getting trapped here, pretty like neutral. But we start to see lots of longs coming into highs, so we might even see like a lower pullback, so time will tell. Order books, we can see major barrier is waiting for us at 75,000. There we have spot aligning, and then further to the upside, look at that, pretty empty order book. So if there is like big spot demand, it can go further, 80k. I don't think market was ready even for such pump, but we will see. I need to refresh. Some things are just messed there. And when we go for pullback, we do need to see some new spot walls. Look at that pretty empty order book. So if we go for pullback, lots of market buying will be needed, and order books are not populated, so pullback can be pretty violent in case there is like big selling coming. The big supports, of course, for us are still waiting way lower. 68k defended a bit on Binance. Perpetuals, what they are doing, nothing crazy. Of course, like again, I want to load up Bitcoin for much cheaper prices. I'm not going to buying right now. I was just buying 70k on breakout, but that's it, you know, adding to my DCA. 65k is start of like proper support on Bitcoin, down to 55. This is like crazy zone, and it should be supporting Bitcoin for months. Yeah, so nothing, no major orders, 75k only, and here is more stacked. We will see that in more here. Let's go to perpetuals. Yes. Nothing crazy on perpetuals, just smaller walls. We do see large wall is defending 72k, but it's just 260 Bitcoin. We are yet to retest the VWAP. By the way, on VWAP I have alert. Continuation long I would like to take there. Coinbase, right now we are hitting some resistance on Coinbase. Like up till this point, you see the walls on Coinbase were pretty small, but right now this is another node and 75k is waiting. Yeah, big barrier, and you do see how the Coinbase investors were ready to buy Bitcoin. I keep reminding you, we were only hitting the start of the big supports on Coinbase. It was so easy to build those swing long positions there and buy spot. And on Binance, we are now eating lots of supply. Yeah, all these walls are getting filled. That's what I said, our traders, the upside will be very controlled. Like I don't expect huge wick because we simply have so much walls here. They are slowing down advances. Okay, with the push to the upside, you want to see immediate change in the order books. You want to see new walls showing up, so they will be protecting the uptrend. You don't want to see like super empty order books, nobody bidding there. As I mentioned, 68k is now first proper strong support, but this market is far away. But this is very encouraging. You do see new walls here. You see again when you feel like 74, 75k, I expect another pullback here, maybe even range, because the Bitcoin tends to react after you feel those. You simply exhaust the buyers from the market. Yeah, they need to buy these walls out to push market. So yeah, we will see how that goes. So CVD, what is CVD doing? Constantly pushing. Look at those orders. Yeah, and those are very likely TWAP orders. I mentioned TWAPs a lot in the group. Some people don't know, but TWAP order is very large orders spread into small chunks, and the delta in exchange and then is going like very positive every single minute. Yeah, so if someone is filling very large position each time with similar values, so he is not moving price much on spot markets. We do see that often. Bitcoin is not liquid as equities. Yeah, it's still very small asset. If you want to buy like let's say 1 billion of Bitcoin, you would make 10,000 move on Bitcoin price. Yeah, the market cap is not real, because it's all about liquidity. So they need to go very, very slow into Bitcoin. One day it's gonna be super liquid. I can imagine like very big company, but right now still just 1 trillion. I think it's 1.5 trillion or something like that market cap, or 1 trillion. I don't know. Spot is still steadily buying, but we do see a bit of absorptions, especially this high. This we've did. Yeah, it's actually aligned. Yeah, it's okay. You can see how Bitcoin, like this is very crucial what Bitcoin does right now, because we don't have any. This was more of an internal liquidity, but this was already destroying lots of shorts in the range. Right now you were grabbing, this is internal liquidity of the range, external liquidity of the range above this high. You grabbed 95%. If you continue pushing here, this Bitcoin is looking very strong in my eyes. If you start going into range or reversing, that's a sign the Bitcoin was pushing more on a short squeeze, and yeah, the goal was to grab the liquidity. We can go even to swing time frame and see if we have like high time frame liquidity. And yes, we do grab the high time frame liquidity right now with people who use a smaller leverage, so it's more like 1-to-1, 2-to-1 leverage and so on. So it's like here off the range. So you are still in that node. Here is much stronger liquidity than to watch for. We can move to TRDR right now. So whatever your budget is, whatever your goals are, you have to buy yourself TRDR. I said that many times. The TRDR changed my life, especially since I did the backtest. It's just super easy to go look for longs with such support. Like this was screaming at you. Look for day trade long, look for scalp long, look for swing long. Yeah, all the time frame bands were like supportive here. Take profit here, short. You look to reload your position, as I was showing you over the weekend. All the bands supporting. Taking profit. Now the bands are pressuring, and that's one of the reasons we do see like prices, even if it wants to break out, it's not going to be as easy for Bitcoin. Okay, it needs to take out lots of walls, so we will see how this goes. And we were expecting that one thing when we were also like going into negative delta of 2 billion. So we are expecting this to happen. Like I was telling our group, I'm expecting 1.6 to 2, like 1.6 to 2 billion positive delta out of these people who got trapped short, because open interest was increasing. These shorts were trapped here, so we were looking for that, and now big pushes to the upside. If you actually capture, like this is like very big push, imagine if you come here to 67 and you start pushing down, it's almost very certain you rotate range back to 63, 62, because you will trap everybody who was thinking is breakout there. So you have potential for trade, but for now it's looking constructive. Liquidations going up for shorts, that's good. CVD very firmly locked. And now we are eating over those. Like these walls were holding Bitcoin for weeks. So the time has to come when market finally had enough of consolidation and they need to put some muscles. Yeah, and they need to start taking out these walls, right? So we are doing that right now. We are eating them. 75k crucial to reclaim, because you will like take out all the node and go higher, but it's good we have new walls showing up there. Oof. Funding rate again negative. We do see like retail is trying to short the, the pumps, and they are getting destroyed. Look like here, yeah, lots of shorting into the lows, and then when we push to the upside, we cut back to neutral. Again, very negative funding rate. So leverage is trying to short the move again, and so we might see, in case we go into the pullback a bit, or we just continue higher to catch up to the neutral thresholds, but this is favoring more upside, like I would say, from the funding rate. We will see how reliable it is, because sometimes it's not as reliable and sometimes it is. So it's not main decision tool for me, but just I'm watching for the extremes. People tend to short the bear market lows, sadly, yeah. So swing template also, like as we are at the high time frame support for Bitcoin, of course I'm looking for less shorts, and I was rotating the range, of course I'm looking for that, but the swing template longs were much easier, closer to 63, 64, 62,000. Yeah, the big thresholds were hitting. These two columns are watching just Coinbase and Binance, because they are most powerful, and yeah. Open interest RSI getting overbought. Yes, we might see some consolidation after this move. You can see whales were defending 65k. We never got there. They got front run, and you can see the whales were like the biggest orders were here. We also got front run those. Then they were taking profits here. We got the reactions, but then we are pushing higher. So right now whales are not showing us what's the next step, but we do have a sell side wall here, 75k from them. Okay, and open interest, I do think is increasing big time. So you also have you push to the upside, open interest is going upside, delta is going to the upside. So the leverage, this is real move. This is not just shorts covering, yeah, like here. Leverage is, back in the trade, like very massive exposure. If you got, if we get a strong reaction from higher levels, or we start ranging like we are doing right now, which you already can have some scalp short if you want as well. If you start going below the big, where the big open interest thresholds are built, it's pretty likely you will simply like fade a good chunk of the move. We actually faded like 70-80% of the moves with open interest, with major open interest increases. Yeah, big shorts coming here, faded. Big shorts coming here, faded. Shorts into the lows faded, longs into big pump faded, bit slow bleed. Yeah, you can even have like very similar formation here for now, but yes, you need to watch local order flow. If you come below, I would say, so if you really want to see deeper pullback and weakness, I can show you this template where you will see what I'm talking about. 30-minute time frame. First of all, you need to lose this low, right? Because we again have very low volume here, so you can feel the inefficiency. If you have some scalp short here, then your trade will become day trade. If you want to see much deeper pullback, of course, VWAP needs to be lost. And we need to lose 70,550 level. Do you see the delta in the breakout candle? It's mainly here. This is called continuation volume. It was supporting you here already and here already. If you lose this, you have mainly buy side here. You have almost no volume here. It's very certain you will fill all of it. Yeah, and then you have consolidation and another one. So for true, like for your trade, for your short to become good day trade, even swing, we need to lose 70,500 fill efficiency, and then there will be battle for 70k, lose 70k, very bearish, and then we go for much deeper pullback. So yeah, that's how you will see more accelerated downside moves. Did I show you key levels? I'm not sure. I don't think I showed you, so I will return back to technical analysis, but I will show you the key levels. Where are you? Key. Many folders I have, you know. High time frame. Okay. 4 time frame. So yeah, we do have some key levels in front of us. So I will watch how we react. This is the key tariff low, so I do think it's going to be important for Bitcoin to reclaim this, or we start rejecting. Do you see how much we chopped in 2021 cycle highs? Wow, it's for many high time frame institutions, this was support they were looking for to build some new positions there. It was just like logical, but we do have these key levels waiting for us higher. And yeah, I have big trade area much further to the upside. 84k. This is going to be great short in the future after CME gap fill, but for now it's not happening. The trade area I had here played out beautifully on top of the high time frame swing trade area. So you see I was building longs here. Everything super transparent. I think this is long video now. Yes, it is. So I hope the video was useful for you. If yes, please give it a like, subscribe. If you want to learn with us and trade with us, join the group. You will not regret. Like education in these sections, all of them is just insane, you know, so much value. So you can take same trades as me. Even if you are swing trader, you will find lots of useful posts. If you don't have time for trading, you can just swing trade. Thank you for watching, traders, and see you in the next YouTube video next week. Bye-bye.